So this is the new Force Motors Force One SUV. For people in the market for a value for money SUV loaded with features, this would definitely come across as a very attractive option. The mechanicals are rather sound. It has a 2.2 litre 4-cylinder common rail diesel engine built under license from Mercedes. This engine puts out 141 PS according to the spec sheet, which is about the same as you get from other engines in this class of vehicle. So no real surprises over there. What's interesting though is to note that this car has a multi-link suspension layout at the rear and dual wishbones up front. This is quite a sophisticated suspension layout on the Force One, and that really helps to give it a good blend of road holding and ride comfort. Of course, the springs are on the stiffer side, but then they would need to be given the vehicle's weight and the fact that it can carry 7 people. But nevertheless, the way this car drives is one of the impressive facets about it. What I don't like about the Force One has to be the interior fit and finish. The plastics are ghastly, to put it mildly. It's just the feel. Look at this. This is all shiny plastic. The way the switches and the buttons work don't really... You feel like things are going to come off in your hand, and they have. In fact, one of the rear seat adjusters, the plastic gubbin on top came into my hand while I was trying to fold the seat. So this level of quality is a little disappointing, especially considering the price. The Force One isn't really cheap. At 13.7 lakhs on the road in Kolkata, that's a hell of a lot of money for a two-wheel drive SUV. You do get 7 seats, but nevertheless, that's money that you would think twice before spending. How does it stack up? Its main competitors would be the new Tata Safari and the Safari Storm, that is, and also the Mahindra Scorpio, both of which have been around in the market longer, are more established. So in that sense, Force Motors has an uphill task with this vehicle. True blue off-roaders have one reason to cheer though, because Force Motors confirms that they will be coming out with a 4-wheel drive version of the Force One, and that will even have a low range transfer box. I don't think it will have lockable differentials, but we'll have to wait and see. Nevertheless, overall, this is a good first attempt by Force Motors with the Force One. I don't think it's going to cause the established SUV makers any sleepless nights, but it's a nice to have alternative in the market. If I were to give you an analogy, it would be something like the smartphone market. You have the HTCs and the Samsungs of the world, but you have Carbon and whoever else. I can't even name them all. There's Lava and others of that sort who provide the same kind of hardware, but overall in a fit and finish which is not quite up to the mark. That's a little bit the case with the Force One SUV over here. It isn't really in the same segment as Tata and Mahindra for the time being, but it's getting there. Let's see how the next version is. For full details and an exhaustive road test, log on to www.autojunction.in.